Welcome to the Uncommon Man podcast. I am your host, Devin Jeffries, alongside a very good friend of mine, Mr. John Pierce. John, how's it going?
It is going.
It's going.
It's going.
Man, I'm just glad to be back, to be here doing this again with you. It's so much fun. We get tons of comments and interactions, and we can't tell you what that means to us.
What's really great is the phone. I've had phone calls and text messages. So it is really great.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
Thank you guys so much. I mean, John and I stepped out on a limb here because we felt called to do this, and it's just such an honor to have you along this journey with us. We are here tonight with our coffee
again.
So
it's not night when you're listening to this. Maybe it is. I don't know. You can listen to this whenever you want, but it's nighttime right now, and we are drinking coffee. I got my Smoky Mountains National Park cup, and you have...
And I get the freaking U.S. Space and Rocket Center.
Hey, that place is awesome.
I mean,
that's a cool cup.
Yeah. Maybe, do you think maybe one day we could get like a sponsorship from a coffee place or a coffee company, or get somebody to do like Uncommon Man podcast coffee mugs?
I mean, if we could make the mugs and sell them in places, maybe.
I'm just saying, I think
we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here.
I think our listeners need to help make this happen. Anyways, you have a new addition in your life, Mr. Pierce.
Kind of. It's more like Laura has a new addition in her life, and I'm also part of it. Whatever. She got a dog.
What kind of dog did she get?
She got a wiener dog. Of all of the dogs.
The most useless dog on the planet.
Well, no, it's above Chihuahuas. It's above Chihuahuas and teacup poodles. It's above Yorkies.
It's still an ankle biter.
Be that as it may.
It's
yes.
So you, Mr. Former military, tatted up, guns up.
Okay, you can chill with that.
All that are now the proud co-older parent of a wiener dog. John Pierce, ladies and gentlemen.
We don't live in the same house, but kind of.
No, but she's still...
Now, I will say, the thing is adorable. It's like a long-haired, what do they call it? Dapple? Something. I don't know. It's not a solid color. It's freaking adorable.
So what you're saying is you like...
I would rather have a Doberman or anything else, basically, but...
I feel like a Doberman and the Mastiff and the Great Dane is like every guy's dream dog.
Pit Bulls, German Shepherds, crazy people that want Belgian Malinois unless they're actually dog people.
Yeah, you lost me there. But for me, it's a Mastiff. I want a Mastiff. I don't know why. It's just it's a dog that I've always wanted. Instead, I've got two. I've got Gracie, who is a lab retriever. She's getting all up there in age. She's an old girl. She's very much settled in her ways. And poor thing, about as soon as she gets used to something else changes. About as soon as she got used to single Devin, I met Brittany, my now wife. By the time she got used to that, she had a long distance or a long time frame there. She got introduced to Samson, my other dog, who is a lab shepherd, and wound up on every bit of caffeine that is ever made. This dog never stops. Literally comes over to my side of the bed to tell me goodnight, and then sprints to the other side of the bed, and then like throws himself very aggressively down on his bed and just goes to sleep. He's the weirdest dog in the world. He's the only boy beside, like the only man in the house besides me. All right, because I have a wife, Gracie's a female dog, and then I have two daughters. So it's just me and Samson, man. But anyways, about the time Gracie got used to Samson, here comes Ariel, my oldest daughter. By the time she got used to Ariel, here comes Blakely, my now 2-month-old daughter. And it's over. It's
good thing is he doesn't notice that, I'm sure, that it's all females besides you.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I guess they know, but like I don't think they care.
I don't know, man. Yeah, because what was weird, they say like when a woman's pregnant, like the dog cleans, like...
Yeah, did that happen?
Yeah, yeah, it did, but to me, Samson never left my side.
Interesting. Maybe you thought you were pregnant. Lots of estrogen flowing through those veins.
You know what? I get that I'm on a journey now of losing weight, but that felt like a cheap shot.
It was.
Okay, thanks
It
a
was
lot.
intended
Anyways,
that way.
on to the episode. If John Pierce is not here next week, you all know why.
I've already been told when you made the we were talking about in one episode about reaching across the table and slapping me or something.
Oh yeah.
Somebody told me, who was it? I forget. Somebody told me like you could totally take Devin. By the way,
Well, sure they could. I'm willing to bet this was
Tony. Two Scoop Tony.
Two Scoop Tony.
Shout out. Go
Okay.
follow him on Instagram. That's his
The
Instagram
fact
handle.
that, or I'm sorry, the fact that somebody with the nickname Two Scoop Tony is saying this.
Have you seen that dude?
No.
He definitely takes 2 scoops of his protein powder.
Oh, yeah. See, I am offended because I was thinking like 2 scoops of ice cream.
No. He works in the gym next to the church. I did, at least at one point, I think.
Wait.
Maybe he still does.
Is this a dude with the epic broom stash?
Yes. He had an epic... Yeah. I think he had
Yeah.
an epic beard at one point, but now he has an epic mustache.
Yeah, no. Okay, so fine. I will give 2 Steps Tony his due there. Then that's
you not know who
fine.
Tony is?
I think I do.
He's listening to this and he's offended right now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, Two Scoop Tony. I will never forget now. I'm very terribly sorry. Anyways, on to the episode.
What are we talking about
before
today?
we lose everybody?
We already did. It's okay.
They've already turned it off.
Yep.
Found another podcast.
I mean, I would have. Now, actually, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to go over some different kind of tough love tactics that are going to explode your personal power, your influence, and your impact. And we're going to kind of break this up into a few different episodes. Okay. And when we do, one of the things we want really for this to take off with is to find it all in one shell, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as we unpack and open this shell up, we find different tactics to explode our power, our influence, and our impact on life. And so today, in the first part of this kind of stint that we're going to do, I think we're going to break it up over 3 episodes. And in this first part of this kind of stint, we're going to talk about to get what you want, you've got to deserve it. We're going to do life gets better when you do. And we're going to talk about doing more hard things, which I think doing more hard things could truthfully be its own episode in and of itself.
It could be. But these other 2 that we're doing today are short enough that we can tie that in, I think.
That's right. So in this first one,
Before we start, though, I think when you say let's talk about power a little bit. That can be viewed very differently by different people. Some people say power and they think the CEO in a high-rise building or something like that. Define what you mean by exploding your power exactly.
So whenever I say power, what I'm talking about is going to be the amount of reach that you have in people's lives. The amount of, excuse me, can also be labeled as influence. They're kind of synonymous in this stint and what we're talking about.
That was my next question. How is it different than influence?
Yeah, they're kind of synonymous here because defining your reach and exploding in your power means that you are somebody who has a high level of influence and an impact on somebody's life, which if we're talking about on the Uncommon Man podcast, it's very, very different because people chase the wrong kinds of power.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's specifically why I asked.
So what we want to do is we want to kind of redefine what power and influence looks like in this series
From more of a leadership perspective.
from more of a leadership perspective, but then also I think a biblical perspective, because I think David is somebody that you see that abused his power to gain what he wanted.
In some cases, yeah.
But then went on in other areas to make a massive, massive impact for the kingdom. Right.
Well, while we're at it, how did David abuse his power?
Well,
Talking about Bathsheba here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So he used his power to send Bathsheba's husband to the front lines of a war, knowing good and well that he would be killed.
Yeah.
And would not return. And then he could have Bathsheba all to himself.
In a day when kings normally were up fighting the war with their I don't think troops is the right word, but
Well,
whatever they call them.
Right, but it's so David abused his power in order to gain what he wanted.
Mhm.
What I'm talking about in this series is using our power to gain influence and impact on people's lives. Because I think when you do that, you truly do become somebody that's uncommon.
It's like, the verse, the meek shall inherit the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it explained. Take this how you will, but I've heard that explained that the actual translation of that is better. He who keeps his sword sheathed is a better translation than meek,
Mm-hmm.
because you should have the ability to be quote unquote dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
but keeping your sword sheathed. It's like a martial arts expert that could twist you into a pretzel and kill you with little to no effort, especially with somebody that doesn't have any training. But they don't. They keep it sheathed until it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It seems like it kind of. Am I on the right track here?
Yeah, no, you absolutely are. It does. It coincides with what we're talking about very, very well. I think that's a great illustration. But I think for this, where we're trying to go is talking about where we want to get reach, influence, power, impact, whatever you want in those around you, whether that's your family, whether that's at your job, at your church, or wherever it is that you are, whatever people you're with, you can still make an impact.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a story the other day on another podcast where this 4-star general they were trying to come up with solutions to a problem. And this 4-star general turns around and he says, well, I think we should do this, right? And the lowest ranking member in the room, like everybody else, all of the other generals were all going, yeah, no, we think that's a great idea. That's a great idea, General. Thank you so much for your leadership. That's amazing. And the lowest ranking member in the room stepped up and goes, General, with all due respect, that's a horrible idea. And here's why it's not going to work. And that 4-star general had one of two choices to make. He could either accept the correction from somebody who was air quotes beneath him,
Mm-hmm.
or he could apply it into making it something better. In other words, how did he want to use his power? And he chose to listen to this lowest ranking official. And he said, that's what we need. We need more people who are willing to step up and lead regardless of the circumstances they're in.
I've seen things like that happen before. I can't give you a specific example, but you're right, he had two choices. Now, in the event that that person that stepped up was actually wrong for whatever reason, he could more or less use the sandwich method and be like, I'm really glad you stepped up. I'm glad you said that, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But you're missing this part of it, and that's why. However, thank you for saying something.
That's right. So in talking about the power, the influence, and the impact, the first point that I would make is this: in order to get what you want, whether that's in life, whatever this looks like for you, in order to get what you want, you've got to deserve it. If you don't earn it, you don't deserve to have it.
And again, with the specific word deserve, depends on how we look at that. So from a biblical perspective, we don't deserve anything
That's correct.
at all. So let's define what we mean by deserve a little bit.
Deserve in this context means you don't get to sit there and say, Lord, I want your blessing. God, I need this in my life. I need this in my life. And you begin to list off the laundry list of stuff that you want and or need in your life, but then not position yourself or your heart to be in tune with the Father, to be in tune with what His will and His plan are. In other words, if you pray for $1 million, but then aren't doing what it takes to actively go earn $1 million, you don't deserve it.
You got to put feet to your faith.
That's right. Because you can't sit there and say, I want this, and this, God, or I need this, and this, and then turn around and sit on your hands and wonder when in the world it's going to show up.
Because faith without works is absolutely dead.
Exactly. And I think far too many men today sit there and say, if I just had a little bit more money, then I could do this. It's never enough.
Oh yeah, no, it'll never be enough.
That's right. So what I'm getting at here is, in order to deserve it, you have to put the action behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about it and saying, baby, I'm going to do this better and this better about being a better husband or a better father, but then not doing anything makes you a liar. It makes you somebody not worth listening to. So in order to earn it, you have to deserve it. If you don't earn it, you don't deserve it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that. You can't sit there and pray for something and put no effort towards actually getting the thing.
Exactly. If you are not willing to work it, to earn it, and to deserve it, you will lose it all. Point blank in the period. In other words, if you just sit there on your hands and make your and in other words, if God becomes something on a shelf or a checklist, for you.
Yep, that's something you grab off the shelf when you need it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God's not your vending machine.
Nope.
Okay,
we've said that before.
That's right. You don't get to just press the button and say, "Hey, God, I need you, big guy. My life's falling apart. I need you."
Now, that is what you're supposed to do. If your life's falling apart, that's absolutely what you're supposed to do.
Right, but what I'm saying is that can't be the only time that you reach out to him.
But you can't be you're right. Exactly. And you can't sit and be a couch potato at the same time.
Exactly. So I can't sit there and say, I told you earlier today that I've recently started exercising and working out pretty consistently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have my days, sure. But if I'm not willing, if I just sit there and say, "Hey God, I want rock hard 6-pack abs and muscles like 2 Scoop Tony," but then I sit on the couch and eat cookie cake all day, as delicious as cookie cake is.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what cookie cake is?
No.
You're fired.
Okay.
Dude, all right, so it's a cookie. This is gonna make me sound so fat. It's a giant cookie with icing on top of it. Like whenever I say yeah.
It's just one of those big cookies?
Yeah, one of those
Wait, but it has icing on it?
And it has
So you just added extra sugar to the cookie for no reason?
Why not, bro? It's ultimate fat man snack.
Okay.
There's an overweight guy listening to this right now going, "Heck yeah, baby." But anyways, I started my exercise journey. And truthfully, here's why. I saw the very first episode we did and I was like, "You look like a fat tub of lard."
I'm glad you said it before I did.
Like, you need to be better.
Because I didn't want to have to say it.
Well, thanks.
But you said it.
And then I've mentioned my oldest brother on here before, who's not afraid to give it to me as it is.
Did he tell you the same thing?
And he said, "You don't look good." And I went, "Thanks." So honestly, I went, decided to just, small things here and there of making better decisions. But I can't, what I'm saying whenever I say, if you're not willing to work it, earn it, deserve it, you're going to lose it all, is I can't sit there and say that I want rock hard 6-pack abs and then do those things and then not be willing to put forth the effort. If I don't do that and I don't put feet to my faith, I will lose it all.
Mm-hmm. Another example of that could be if, say there's something that you want to do say there's something God's called you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is, it might require a little bit of money. A mission trip, for instance, that requires money. You're like, "All right, God, this is something you want me to do. I need the money to do it." And then you pray for it. You still have to put in some effort. You have to go look for a way to earn that money.
I think back to the pastors of our church, and they had a calling on their lives to plant a church in Alabaster, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And then for, I think, 3 years, worked a completely secular, separate job
Yeah.
just to be able to make enough money. And then now it's exploded into, 700-800 people on any given weekend spread out over 3 experiences, 5 total if you include the 2 campuses. Like, that's the incredible part. They put feet behind it.
Yeah.
They had a calling on their life and they put something to it. So guess what happened? Because they were willing to work it, they earned it. Because they earned it, they deserved it. That's my point.
Okay.
Number 2, life gets better when you do.
And this is going to tie into number 3, but so work on yourself as hard as you work on your job.
I said this last week that entirely too many people give their effort, their social battery, their emotional stability to their job, and then give their family the leftovers, and then there's nothing left for themselves.
And that could be not necessarily your job either. That could be your job plus a hobby that you do 4 days a week or whatever that is.
And and essentially what you're saying is work on yourself as hard as you work on your job or whatever it is, like you said that you do, is that you're going to do ultimately what is important to you. Ultimately.
Yeah.
In other words, if it's important for me to lose weight, I'm going to make it a priority.
Right.
Right. If it's important to you to be able to take 2 Scoop Tony in a fight.
I couldn't take him.
Nah, I mean, if it's the same guy that I'm thinking, it absolutely is.
He's the only one with that mustache, so yeah.
It absolutely is.
No
2 Scoop Tony, I would like to extend my most sincere apologies, bud.
You should. You should feel like complete crap.
We should have him on the podcast.
Sure.
All right. Anyways, so working on yourself, though, as hard as you work on your job.
Let's talk about working on yourself a little bit. What does that mean? Let's dive into how to work on yourself. So this could be a whole episode in and of itself, really, but we'll more or less kind of gloss over it here a little bit. So working on yourself can be a multitude of different things. It could be, I need to lose weight, as Devin has said. Mm-hmm. It could be, I need to be better at this area of my life. We've touched on this before. How do we get better at this area of our life? And I believe we said, make a list of the things that you are good at. And then on the other side of the page, put the list of things that you really need to work on. My list, very lopsided. And work on moving those things to the left side of the list. Now, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I suck. You know how I suck at spending time with my kids. Do you know how long the average father spends with their kids?
No.
10 seconds.
No way.
Dead serious. In a given day, the average dad, because of just how life works, and I mean, I don't mean sitting on the other end of the couch watching TV. I mean intentionally engaged with your child. Intentionally engaged in playing or, I don't know, helping them with their homework, teaching them something, whatever. Intentional engagement, the average is like 10 seconds.
You know, as you're saying that, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, dude, a week ago, I bought my daughter, she turned 3, I bought my daughter a truck that, like one of those toddler trucks that, you know what I'm talking about, the little battery powered one?
Mm-hmm.
And
the one that looks just like your truck?
Yeah, it's an exact replica of my truck. And I bought it for her. And then there was a couple days where it got cold for a little bit. So, didn't want to get her outside and get her sick. But then there were plenty of warm days. It's been a week and my daughter hasn't been in it. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, as you're saying that, I'm like, I've got to be better about that.
Well, I mean,
so in other words, here's what we're saying. If you're listening to this podcast, here's exactly where I'm going with that. Even like, look, we don't have it all together, right? There's plenty of things that John needs to work on. There's plenty of things that Devin needs to work on. And so if you're sitting there saying like, oh, well, you've just got this, and this, so it's easy for you to, the bull's not, man. It's tough for us to be able to do what
we're on a journey and we're dragging you along with us. But I mean,
chains and all.
The whole point behind me saying that was maybe you suck at spending time with your kids.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, pick something. There's plenty of things that we all suck at. but work on yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some, I don't know, mental things going on. Maybe you're depressed. Work on it. Whatever that may look like. Go see a therapist if you need to. Whatever it may be.
But working on yourself as hard as you do your job is when life gets better. Remember what I said just a minute ago? Life gets better when you do.
Yep.
When you make a decision that you're going to be better in XYZ area, life gets better.
Yeah, and in the notes here, to get more than
you got.
Oh, sorry. You typed that weird. To get more than you got to become more than you are. Which, and to get more than you got, that goes back to, this whole thing ties back to self-leadership. You have to be someone that's even worth following.
Yep.
Because you can't get more of whatever it is that you want, whether that be influence on the people around you, if you're not even leading yourself.
To get right, but the reason I typed it this way, to get more than you got to become more than you are. Think about it this way. If you're a bank teller, and like, let's just use this as an example. I was helping coach this guy a few weeks ago, and he's a bank teller. And he turned around and he was just like, man, it's a dead end job. Like, I'm tired of doing this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just not going nowhere. And I turned around and I said, then what are you doing to separate yourself from the other people that you work with? He goes, well, how do you mean? And I said, when are you supposed to be at work? And he goes, 8:15. I said, when do you get there? And he goes, 8:10, 8:15. And I said, okay, you're on time if you're 10 minutes early. You're late if you're on time.
Yep.
And then I said, second of all, if we're both bank tellers and you're getting there at 8:10, but I'm getting there at 8 o'clock, by the time I get there, I've already done 10 minutes worth of work more than you. Doesn't matter that I'm not supposed to be there till 8:15. I'm doing more than you. When it comes time for a promotion or for something else to be coming up, who do you think they're going to pick, me or you?
Because over time, people are going to notice.
That's exactly it.
They're going to notice you working. All you have to do is outrun the fat guy if you want to outrun a bear.
Exactly. It's kind of like, I don't have
like if a bear's chasing me and you, I'm going to win every time.
Well, yeah, because you're going to outrun me.
Oh.
So, but
lose weight.
I'm working on it. Freaking jackwagon.
Can you tell I love him?
Anyways. But yeah, to get more than you've got, you got to become more than you are. You cannot sit there and say to yourself, I want this much power, influence, and impact in people's lives, and then continue to do the same exact mundane thing that's gotten you to where you are.
Yeah, and this even applies, like if you just, I'm not condoning chasing money here at all, because that's, as we have already said.
Well, let me put it this way before you carry that on. If you chase money, that's a race you will always lose.
Yeah, it's never going to be enough. You got Maslow's hierarchy there that we're not going to get into because that's going to be a 30-minute tangent. But even if it's money, if you need more money for something, you 1% better every day. Mm-hmm. Just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday in some area.
And that leads into the last one. Do more hard things.
Yeah, doing hard things is way more important than people realize. Like, we have to do hard things in our lives. I think you should challenge yourself at least once a year to do something very hard that seems unreachable, whether that's some physical feat or whatever it is in your business to achieve some goal. Set a goal. If it isn't business, set a goal that seems absolutely unreachable. Mm-hmm. And if you don't make it there, like, hey, you probably got, even if you got close to it, you're still better. Mm-hmm. If you set a goal, you're like, this is achievable. Well, guess what? You're gonna get to your goal, and you're not going to try anymore because you reached your goal.
Stephen Furtick, a very famous pastor, said this: if the odds, he said, if the goals for your life don't scare the living hell out of you, there's a good chance it's insulting to God. If the goals for your life don't scare you and scare the living hell out of you, there's a good chance it's insulting to God. Like, mic drop, boom, podcast over. Okay, but that's what I'm getting at is to do more hard things. I have a very good friend of mine that I used to like go to church with this guy all the time. We used to
All the time or just on Sundays?
no, like all the time. Dude, we were
I'm just picking.
this. I know you
Continue.
This was back when we attended a church that even had like Wednesday night worships and things like that. And we used to go all the time. And then I watched him slowly step away from his faith. And it was hard. And I did everything I've done everything I know to do to bring him back to his faith. But then what I've seen is slowly but surely his life has begun to deteriorate. His marriage suffered, his relationship with his kids suffered, all because he stepped away from the will and the call of God on his life. This guy, when things get hard, he bails. He don't want to do the hard stuff. It's got to be convenient. It's got to be on his time. And all I'm simply saying
It's pain
is
avoidance.
you can't live like that. That's not fair. That's not fair to yourself. Like, want more and do better for yourself than to just sit there and say, well, if it's not convenient for me. We live in such a convenient society that if it doesn't fit our time and our schedule, we're not willing to step outside and go, you know what? This sucks. Embrace the suck.
Yeah. I have my favorite t-shirt says strength through suffering on the back of it. And I think what you're getting at there is instant gratification.
Yeah, because here's what instant gratification does. It makes you soft.
Yeah. It really
I'm
does.
not sorry for what I said. Somebody's feelings I just hurt, and I'm not sorry. Instant gratification makes you soft and conditioned to convenience.
What did you say? You said something when you walked in my house earlier.
I don't
Gym related.
Jim, I said I was sore.
Yeah. You said you were sore
Uh-huh.
because you went to the gym.
Yeah.
You did something.
While I ran, but yeah.
Okay, whatever. You ran. You were sore. So it's uncomfortable.
Yep.
You can't grow without being uncomfortable.
Sucks.
Comfort kills you.
Yeah.
Dead.
Exactly. And what it does is it conditions you to convenience. That's also known as your comfort zone. See, like I am to a degree an instant gratification guy. I saw this meme the other day.
Like with the grass?
Yeah, like with the grass. Like I don't mind cutting grass because it is instant gratification. But I'll tell you something I hate doing. I hated putting that truck together for my daughter a week ago. You know why? Because it took me 2 stinking hours because the freaking QR code on the box that they said, here, scan this. It'll make it easier to put together. Didn't work. And then the instructions were garbage.
Okay, let's stop complaining about the truck.
And I wanted to be able to just crack open the box and bam, there's the truck. Instead, I had 2 hours, a lot of frustration and a lot of like going on.
Oh gosh. Speaking of Amazon, if it takes more than 2 days to get something that you ordered on Amazon, that's the most frustrating thing on the planet.
Prime. First world problems, by the way. But
Yeah, who doesn't have Prime now?
I mean, that's true.
Everybody. I'm pretty sure my dad even has Prime.
Okay.
I think he does.
I mean, I know
regardless,
my mom and dad do. But what I'm getting at is that therefore the instant gratification makes you soft and conditioned to convenience. When you're conditioned to convenience, you will not stretch yourself to do those hard things. And I think that kind of bleeds into this next point of working through discomfort is how you grow. My legs are sore because I ran.
Yeah.
Not from anything and not from anyone. I turned on a podcast or some music and I just took off and I just started running. And when I worked through the discomfort that my legs were feeling and how tired I was, whenever I worked through that discomfort over time, in one day, did it help? No. In 1 week, did it do anything? Not really. In 1 month, good luck. But
If you run every day for a month, you'll definitely notice a difference.
Sure. But what happens if I run for 6 months, for a year?
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I worked through the discomfort. That's how I grew.
Now, discomfort here doesn't just mean physical discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a slew of things. It could be something. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, right?
That's right.
Sometimes bad things happen, and those bad things that you're dealing with are a way for you to grow. Like, you deal with the pain, whether it be mental, emotional, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna come out stronger on the other side of it.
Talk about the emotional pain for a second, that mental pain. Because that's something that I know is very prevalent in our society today, especially amongst men.
Yeah.
And the problem is this, they don't have an out. So what they do is they create one.
Yep.
When there's emotional discomfort, physical discomfort, whatever.
And sometimes that's at the bottom of a bottle, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotional pain's a real thing. Like, even if you put on your stoic face and deal with it, like, it still sucks. It's still whatever it is you're going through that's causing you whatever kind of turmoil. Like, it still sucks.
You have emotional pain when somebody does something to you, right? And you're like, I didn't deserve this.
Well, you do, but
no, I mean, in certain cases, things happen in life. Life just beats you up sometimes.
yeah, I'm just being pessimistic.
Right. But you don't deserve it. And then you just sit there and wallow in it almost for a little bit. You have to work through that emotional pain and that emotional discomfort.
And you will come out far more resilient on the other side.
So much more resilient. Because if you're not willing to work through that hard stuff in your life, when crap's gone, life has put you in the fourth quarter and you're down, and they're on the 1 yard line fixing to put the game away, that's when you begin to rise from the ashes. That's when you begin to step up, to have that stone wall of a defense, so to speak, that you step up and step out in that faith. You rise from that and work through that discomfort. That's how you grow. That's how you do hard crap.
And God doesn't necessarily make things happen to you for you to grow. Yes, he does sometimes. Sometimes he'll use things that are happening to you for you to be able to grow.
That's good.
And you have to work, like you just said, you have to work through those things. Don't ignore it. Don't try to pawn it off on somebody else. Yes, you need someone, you have to be vulnerable with the right people. Don't just go be vulnerable in public or to people that aren't close to you. Pick your group of people that are close to you. Be vulnerable with them. And yes, they can help you carry whatever that burden is, but it's your burden for a reason, for you to grow and be stronger on the other side of it.
I had a guy ask me a couple of weeks ago, he said, why did God take me down this path? And my answer to him was very, very simple. I said, because if he hadn't, you would have never gone down it yourself.
Right.
And he goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, you grew from that situation you just walked through in life, right? And he goes, well, yeah. And I said, okay, then you would have never grown from that situation if God hadn't taken you down that path. Do the hard stuff. Understand this. And we said this earlier. If you're good enough to hit your goals are too small.
Yeah. I mean, you should have. You familiar with the term SMART goals?
Define.
I had to say it out loud.
Yeah, you did.
So
serves you right.
I don't remember what it's an acronym. SMART. Whatever. The A is achievable. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
To an extent. Now, you can't be like, you know what? This year, I'm going to become an astronaut. All right. You're just being.
I could become an astronaut.
Sure. Start with losing weight.
I'm done with this podcast.
Hey, dude, you should get like a full body scan, and then we should see how much weight you can lose over 6 months.
I'm done with you.
No, that'd be a good idea.
Keep going.
We're all going to hold you accountable.
Let's keep going.
How do you feel about that?
I'm good with it.
All right.
Keep going.
You're going to get a body scan?
I hate you.
The DEXA scan, is that what it's called?
Go ahead.
I'll do it with you.
Wonderful.
Is that a no? It's probably expensive. I don't know. Anyway, what were we talking about? If your goals are too small, then
SMART goals.
Yeah. So achievable. I agree with that to an extent, right? But it should be something that, I think I can do this, but it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
So find whatever is achievable in whatever thing that you're making a goal in. Let's say you're gonna. I'm sorry, I'm using you as an example again. Let's say you have a goal to be able to run more. That's not specific. Oh, that's what the S is. Specific, measurable, achievable. Something and timely, whatever. Doesn't matter. Yes, you want to be able to run more. Okay, how much more? You want to be able to run a 10K in however many minutes. That's really specific.
Yeah, you asked me to run a 10K with you, and I was like, "You've lost your mind."
Dude, it's not that far.
How many miles is that?
Like 6?
All
Well,
right.
5K is like 3.2, I think.
Yeah, 5K, and I've run plenty of 5Ks.
Yeah, it's just 2 of them.
That's a lot. Anyways,
It's really not.
we'll make that a goal. That's fine. But keep going.
My point is, if say I want to be able to run a 10K, okay, why not make a goal to run a half marathon? Even if you can't run a half marathon, you're like, crap, I didn't reach my goal. However, I can run more than a 10K.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So achievable to an extent.
It's like this year I got my so in my profession we get business goals every year, and they tripled my business goal
Why is this table so
for
short?
2026.
Sorry.
They tripled my business goal. And whenever I saw that number, I was like, y'all have lost your minds. Go fall off a cliff. No way. If I hit this goal, it means I didn't see my family. If I hit this goal. And I began to immediately excuse every bit of it. Because why? It disrupts my routine if I hit this goal.
Oh,
I know.
poor thing.
Right?
I have to get out of my routine.
But here's the thing. Routines keep you as you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn to disrupt your routines.
Yeah, some things you should have a routine at.
Sure, your morning routine, fine. Your life routine, your daily routine is where at times needs to be disrupted. For me, mine got disrupted whenever I shortened my business hours in order for me to have an hour to go run, or in order for me to have an hour and a half to go to the gym, or whatever that looks like, right? My routine was disrupted.
If you wake up, drink coffee, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed every
do it
single
all
day,
again.
guess where you got yourself 365 days from now? Absolutely nowhere, and you probably gained weight in the process. I'm really on that today, aren't I? I'm sorry.
You should be. But here's kind of, I guess, the whole point to doing the hard stuff in life is if you're avoiding what's difficult or uncomfortable, you're avoiding growth.
Yep.
I'll say it again. If you're avoiding what's difficult or uncomfortable, you're avoiding growth. I don't become somebody with power and influence and an impact on people's lives maintaining how I am.
Before I meant to mention this at the beginning, and we got hung up on power, and then we went to deserve, and I forgot. Can we talk about impact for just a minute?
Sure.
Like we did touch on it, but influence and impact. So, and we don't mean influence on your, let's say, I don't know, subordinates, is that the right word? People that work for you, or influence on people that are quote unquote beneath you, people that you are leading in some way. We're talking about, yes, people that you're leading, but it has to be leadership. And I mean leadership and not just management, you know, because those are two very different things. But it can also be people, it could be anybody that you're around, especially if you find yourself in a place on a given day and you're like, God, why the heck am I standing here right now? This makes no sense. This has nothing to do, but you're around the right people at that time to influence them in some way. Maybe they just need to hear about Jesus. And I'm getting a little off topic there, but don't complain about exactly where you're at, because you're there for a reason. But you can influence, even if you can influence at work, your boss, just by being, just by what am I trying to say? Showing them Jesus through your actions,
Do you think
through
that,
how you live your life, the little things that you do, the way you respond to things, how you say things. And that doesn't mean like you can show love and not be, that doesn't mean you have to be a little coward in the corner. You can show love and still be manly or whatever. You can be tough and still show love at the same time. But
like, I asked a guy yesterday, he said that, whenever he gets mad or something like that with his wife, he tells her to pack her stuff and leave or, whatever. And
What?
I went, yeah. I mean, it's a whole story, but I won't go into it. But it was like, he talked very down and demeaning at times towards his spouse, but then wondered why he had absolutely no influence and impact in her life.
Well,
And I'm
that's
like,
why.
And I'm like, are we really questioning this? So the point is with the influence and impact in people's lives is you can have that regardless of where you are, what you do for a living, if you're married, if you're single, if you're a father, you're not a father, whatever. What is going on with my voice today? Whatever that looks like. You can have that if it's something that you're intentional about doing and changing in your life. So
Right.
To kind of put a bow on this.
And real
No,
quick,
sorry,
just to
yeah.
kind of point this out too, like you said earlier, you can chase power for the wrong reasons. You can have influence in people's lives and it be negative. It can be negative.
Sure, absolutely.
So we want positive influence. We want to make, if you can do something in your day to make somebody else's life a little bit better, like why would you not do that?
Give away encouragement.
Oh, yes.
Give it away. It's free.
Yeah, it costs nothing to be nice. It is absolutely free.
Give it away, man. Give it away and find out how that changes your reach, your power, your influence, and the impact you have in life. So to put a bow on this episode, because I think it's been really, really good. To get what you want, you've got to deserve it. Put feet to your faith. Put action behind what you say you want and need in your life. Speaking of life, it gets better when you get better.
And if you want to get better, you got to do hard things.
Couldn't have said it better.
Work through the pain. Pain avoidance is a no-go.
And-
Now, pain is the best motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's absolutely.
You told me something a couple of weeks ago, and it's been subtly in my head constantly. You said you've got to negotiate. What was it?
Negotiate your relationship with pain.
Thank you. Negotiate your relationship with pain.
Like if you're about to do something, let me give you an example. Before you go run, you know it's going to hurt.
Yep.
Do you want to start running and then while you're running figure out how to make it hurt less? Or do you want to decide ahead of time, this is how I'm going to react to this when it starts to hurt?
Yep.
That's a little bit separate topic, but it applies.
But still, it still applies. Get what you want. You got to deserve it. Life gets better when you do. Do the hard things and don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to reach out and reach up for help. That there is a God of the universe that does love you more than you could ever imagine. He's got bigger plans and bigger goals for you in your life, and he's ready and willing to call that out of you. But what we have to make sure that we're doing is, are we in position? Are we positioning ourselves to change areas of our lives in order to make heaven a more crowded place?
Right. And God he wants to change you. Like, so yes, in order to get to heaven, we have to be saved. But at the same time, Jesus wants a relationship with us, and he wants us to change from who we were. Like if you spent, 30 years of your life living the wrong way, we'll just say living the wrong way, not following Jesus.
It's not too late.
Jesus it's not too late. But Jesus wants to have a relationship with you, and he wants to change you, and you cannot be changed. It will not happen without some kind of discomfort. Yeah, I mean, yes, you're going to have that moment that people have where Jesus has entered your life and, so on and so forth. But the habits that you've created over, ballpark 30 years, whatever your case may be, those you have to work to change. You have to let Jesus change you.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, when you do, it's such a beautiful thing. I had this sent to me right before we recorded this podcast. He said, just remember, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Sometimes our hopes and God's plans don't align, but when they do, it's such a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So
puts a smile on your face.
It does.
You want to pray us out?
Yeah, let's pray. Father, we love you. God, thank you so much for this platform. God, thank you for this calling that you placed on mine and John's lives to help call out being uncommon, to live in a world as a man and as a leader, as a follower in an uncommon way. God, I pray for every man listening to this under the sound of my voice, God, that you would begin right now, right where they sit, to do those hard things, to better their lives so that ultimately we can achieve the plans and the goals that you have set before us in our lives. Give us strength and courage in everything we say and we do. May we bring you honor and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks for listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you know someone who would enjoy this, please pass it along. You can follow us on Instagram at uncommon.man or reach out at theuncommonman.podcast@gmail.com. Keep pursuing excellence, and above all, pursue Christ.